To me, this seems like a simple solution to some of our society's most complex problems. It's worked for me, but I know for most people, it's not the easy choice. But what if it was? What if we worked to make our community a better and safer place to bike? What if bicycling was more accepted as a mode of transportation? Is that worth pursuing? As a father, I think this is reason enough to do it. Did you know that epidemiologists are warning us that we're in danger of raising the first generation to have a lower life expectancy than the previous generation? 1 in 3 kids are going to get type 2 diabetes if we don't change and start eating right and leading more active lives. I say we're morally obligated to do what we can to prevent this from happening. I'm also concerned about the environment and note that transportation is the second largest source of carbon dioxide emissions. We talk a lot about fuel efficiency and electric cars, but there's little talk about biking more, and even though 40% of the trips nationwide are within 2 miles of home, an easy distance to bicycle. The economic and community benefits of better bicycling can also be measured. I saved a bundle bicycling to work for 25 years, and any realtor will confirm that the walkability and bikeability score of a neighborhood has a significant impact on home values and quality of life rankings. I also know that when the price of gasoline goes up, a significant portion of those dollars leave our economy. So why is it so hard to change when we know that we should and that it'll benefit us economically? The public health people will tell you that simply telling people to change does not work. We need to shift our focus from short-term goals and start talking about the policies, systems, and environmental changes that'll steer us towards sustainability for our environment and economy, a higher quality of life, and start increasing our longevity instead of decreasing it. Obviously, bicycling is not the only solution to these complex problems. But if bicycling was the easy choice, it would be a bigger part of the solution. I stole this chart from Minneapolis and Portland. It says that 1% are in shape, have the right equipment, have no fear, and will bicycle almost any place, anytime. 7% feel comfortable riding when conditions permit, but nearly 2/3 don't feel they have the skills or are in a place where it is safe, convenient, invited, or even accepted to bike more. What if we focused our efforts on those 60%? We know what the problems are and want change. MnDOT's surveys show that 93% agree that future transportation projects should accommodate bicycling and walking. And 87% agree that the way a community is built has a big effect on how much physical activity people get. The public health people also taught me this rule. I think it puts concerns about bike safety in perspective. And it's one of the reasons I keep bicycling even after a terrible crash with a careless driver. About 4,000 people in the US die annually in bike and pedestrian crashes. 40,000 die in motor vehicle crashes. And 400,000 die of diseases related to physical inactivity that are preventable. Prevention is a great investment. Most businesses already know this, some more than others, and none that I know of more than Quality Bicycle Products in Bloomington. Quality has about 600 employees. 20% of them bicycle to work 2 or more days a week. The company pays those people $3 a day to do that. That costs about $45,000 a year. Recently, Health Partners studied all of Quality's employees and found that the health care costs for those people were about $100 less per month. That's saving the company about $170,000 a year and much more in increased productivity. So how did this happen? It obviously takes more than incentives to really be bicycle friendly. If you ask the League of American Bicyclists, they will tell you that they measure bike friendliness using the 5 E's listed at the bottom of the screen. I have some examples from around the state to show you that it's not just Minneapolis that's going bicycle happy. Obviously, facilities are important to better biking. Target headquarters has more indoor bike parking spaces than they have indoor car parking spaces, and they even have a staffed on-site bike repair shop. Minnesota communities, it's true. The 11,000 people in downtown Minneapolis on one block have a bike shop. Minnesota communities from Bemidji to La Crescent and Grand Marais to Jackson have on-street bike lanes. And Winona, shown here, has one of the nicest on-street bike route systems in the state. Bike education can improve skills, knowledge, and boost both children and adults' confidence to ride on the streets. Volunteers in Mankato are doing this in partnership with the Y, schools, community ed, the university, and businesses. Volunteers and teachers in other Minnesota communities are doing the same. Communities must also engage their police department in enforcing the rules for both bicyclists, we're our own worst enemy, and motor vehicle drivers. Rochester and other Minnesota communities have police that spend time and have been trained as bicycle instructors. This is not the kind of encouragement we need to be focusing on our young people. In the lower right, it says stop pedaling and start driving. I prefer this kind of encouragement, positive reinforcement, incentives like Quality Bicycle Products uses, and that's the Bemidji police chief riding his bike on a downtown active living kiosk. Communities must engage, Bemidji and lots of other Minnesota communities have set meaningful goals and established bicycling benchmarks in their planning documents. Bemidji's efforts have resulted in a bike-friendly community award from the League of American Bicyclists. But finally, in and around schools are our most important places to work on the 5 E's. Grants are available from Minnesota Department of Health and MnDOT to work on the 5 E's. For example, over 100 Minnesota communities have used these funds to do safe routes to school plans. Olmsted County, Duluth, and other school districts have piloted and are evaluating a new safe routes to school bike education curriculum soon to be available from MnDOT. Here in Mahtomedi, we could apply for funds to build connections from right here, these schools, to East Avenue and the trails along Warner Road, or trails along Stillwater Road. Bicycling through this parking lot during rush hour takes a lot of nerve. As you can see, a lot of other Minnesota communities have decided that it's in their interest to work to be more bike friendly. I think Mahtomedi should too. We could outline plans using the 5 E's to make bicycling a safe, easy, fun, and cool choice for all of us, including our kids. Because this is where I want to live. Thank you.